Yeah, I showed you those spells. I'm like, hey, what is a druid? What does a druid monk use for spells? And
Yeah,
I'm like, easy. I just augment my body.
that does it. That'll do it. That'll do it and some.
It's like, hey, I'll just augment my body since a very large majority of druid spells affect natural weapons.
Yup.
And guess what my fists are?
Natural weapons. Alright. So we're just gonna dive into this raw, no rubber, just, you know.
Oh shit.
So
I mean, we could do that. I don't know if are you ready? Have you practiced, dog? I don't think you haven't touched this game. It's been a hot minute.
that's not actually that true.
Oh.
Okay.
Have you played since the last time that we did this?
A little bit.
Oh, really?
Not a lot of bit, but a little bit. I touched a few things for sure. The sword definitely collided with a few things.
All right, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, ladies just... I don't know what ladies' deal is besides just being a good fighter.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, come on. Game, stop. Oh, now you're just showing off.
I just appreciate that they choreographed and mocapped, like, all of this. Within reason. Like, there's some stuff they couldn't do, obviously, but, like, there is a lot of shit they mocapped. This game is actually, like, there's some weird era PS2 games that have some, like, shockingly high production values. Like, Clock Tower 3, like, if I recall, that was, like, a legendary director's, like, final thing. I don't remember who, and I'm sure somebody will yell about it, but I've not played Clock Tower 3, so. I want to talk about ridiculous, too. That. No, rocket jumping. It's a legitimate thing.
It's an effective tactic, I guess. This bitch just straps up that rocket launcher like it's no big deal. She's like, I'm just gonna go. Oh, okay, clever.
Yeah.
Oh, this one isn't as clever. That one's like right in your face. They made sure you saw it.
So Royal Guard and Swordmaster are level 2 now.
Oh, okay.
Nothing crazy. Not like a full dick deep. You'll see.
Right.
I didn't want to throw the balance of the game completely off.
This was like, you know, maybe a little bit on your lunch break once in a while, right?
It was just one night.
Oh shit, bro! I put more time in than you do.
Oh, probably in the Devil May Cry.
No.
Yeah, I'll just max out. Oh no! Ooh, no! I need to get some. Yeah, I'll get rank 2 of Revolver. Okay. So yeah, no, I actually got a funny story for. I had a weird day today.
Oh,
so, you know, work was fine. It was, you know, work. And it was, you know, it's hot out. It's summertime, so it's toasty.
Oh, it's muggy as fuck.
So as soon as we hit quitting time, like it hit 4:30, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm taking off my fucking top layer. Like I took off my button-down shirt. Immediately, it was down to a t-shirt, and, you know, you know, and they were like, oh, God, that must feel so much better. I'm like, you have no idea. We just shooting a shit and everything. Half an hour goes by before we finish up completely, because just some things were going on, and it was like, okay, all right, everybody, let's go. And I get into my car, and I look at my steering wheel, and I notice out of the corner of my eye, something's on my shirt.
Was it a cicada?
No.
Oh. What's on your shirt neck?
It was cum. So I'm guessing at one time, because spoilers, I, like any other person, occasionally masturbate.
Oh,
and apparently, despite washing my fucking t-shirt, because this came straight out the goddamn wash,
oh my god.
And all I can think is, I hope nobody noticed.
Oh, they noticed. They absolutely noticed.
You know, because, yeah, there's no way they didn't, but I want to pretend in my heart of hearts, they didn't.
They're gonna be really nice and never bring it up, though.
Oh, fuck no, because, like, anybody... It happened. Not that necessarily. That's the wrong thing to say. Hold on.
That common?
Well, a funny story is that happened to my brother at one point. I remember it very distinctly. So in a way, because I busted his chops about it, this feels like a touch of karmic justice. Oh, fucking
It's like
duck.
a family. It's like a family thing.
Parent fucking Lee.
It's a family. It's a family thing, you know. Show up to work with splooge on your shirt.
Now, mind you, his was a lot earlier in his life. He wasn't in his 30s. He was, I think, 16 at the time.
Right. When you're 16, you could be like, boys will be boys. When you're 30, it's like, bro, get your life together.
Listen.
get your life together. Oh, shit.
Woo! Oh.
You know, I've always said it, man. PS2 games, I got into this really interesting conversation on Twitter. Because sometimes you can have those without them turning into a complete cesspool.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes. Not often, mind you. Sometimes. And I made a statement about how, generally speaking, I don't think 3D games hold up as well than, like, 2D games. Generally
fuck
speaking.
no. That's not even an argument as far as I'm concerned. That's just fact.
It turned into a bit of an argument because he started listing off PS, 3D games that hold up, and I'm like, all right, barring anything in the last like 2 generations.
Even
like,
that's debatable. Like, there's some Xbox 360 games. Hell, there's some Xbox One games that look like dog shit.
Yeah, I'm like, by and large, I mean, it's really hard to tell me that something in 3D can have the same aesthetic appeal as like Suikoden for PS1, which is basically pixel art at its finest. But I mean, that's like actual pixel art versus what we get these days, which is like not really.
Yeah.
We're cutting a lot of corners these days.
Yeah.
Or not cutting. It's hard to say. Point is, I'm always really surprised when like a PS2 game stands up really well. Like one game that stood up really well, and the music didn't, but I think the game still stood up, was Final Fantasy X. I feel like 10.
People don't think the music held up in that. I think the music's phenomenal in that game.
No. I think the remastered music doesn't hold up. I don't like remastered music.
It's a crapshoot. I could take it or leave it. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a different beast. I thought we were like, what? I'm like, fucking
no.
Xanarkand alone.
The game itself holds up.
Oh shit, yeah.
I don't think the remastered music.
Okay, that's a different beast too. Because that's also the remastered music too.
But the original soundtrack, I still stand by. But the remastered music, I don't know, man.
That was lucky.
Oh wow. Was that luck? I thought that was skill.
No, God, there was nothing about that was skillful. It was just purely luck. God damn it. Okay, hold on.
But then again, like, it's like there's games on like PS2 that look phenomenal, and then there's like games on like our PS4 that like I'm just like, this looks all right.
It really, you can feel uninspired art direction from a mile away nowadays.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to say it's like copy and paste, because I don't want to put like artists in that spot right now. That's not the life I try to live. But at the same time, I don't think you need to be an artist per se to know if someone's phoning it in.
Oh fuck no! I think most artists would tell you. Non-artists are the ones who would point that out the easiest.
Yeah, like I can tell. You could tell when someone's phoning it in. Like, it goes a lot.
An assumption on my part, but hey, nonetheless, I can certainly fucking tell, and you certainly can. And then I guess we are technically artists, though.
No.
I
don't consider what I do
You have to
art.
accept this if I have to accept this, and I have forced myself to accept this. This is considered art. There are a lot of people who would argue with you that this is considered art. That it is.
They can argue with me until my channel shuts down. But that's on them. I'm not feeling to take that.
All for as a baby. I think this is the classic like baby parts of your life. Stand on your hind legs and using a cane. Capcom loves this one if it's correct. Yeah, it is. Capcom uses this in like everything they have a puzzle in at least once. It was in RE Code Veronica. It was, I think, in RE1, and it was in DMC3. I'm sure it's in other places too. The whole thing, like, you're born on your all fours. When you're an adult, you stand on your 2 legs, and when you're an old man, you have a cane. So 3.
like it's clever.
Oh, it's a good puzzle. That's why they use it all the time. But if I could just guess when I see like, oh, there's 4, 3, and 2, I know exactly what this is. So
I feel like that was their attempt at like I've always liked to say that there's, especially from like the PS2 era, even like or like the PS2 era and back, there was those what I like to call the strategy book moments.
Yep.
You know, those moments that like you weren't gonna like. You would solve by like luck, but like they were there to get they were there to get you to like crack open a book or something like that, or fucking.
Okay, so I was hoping I could do that for completion's sake, and then I was just gonna leave this. This weapon sucks. It's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
It is the only bad weapon in the game. Wow. I'm sure there's somebody out there who could tell me why it's not, but I don't. Look. I know every weapon in the right hands is a great tool.
I mean, yeah, man. There's people who still believe that the HD Hipog was a great capture card. Okay, clearly,
there is nobody who fucking believes that, Reso. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. So for those newer to the content creation game,
oh God,
there was so back in the fucking day.
When we're talking 2010.
2010. I would even go back as far as 2009, give or take.
To that late 2009, then.
Yeah,
like that's super late 2000. There was you gotta remember, like YouTube was just starting to hit that 720p, and because content creation, especially in the gaming sector, is competitive to some degree, I guess, if you really want to go there.
No, back then it was 1000%.
There was only like I don't know. Was there any other capture devices that did that?
Our choice. So the Elgato's been around for a minute. We kind of just slept on. Actually, I think there was a period where it was Mac exclusive.
Yeah.
And because I remember
at the time
had one ages ago.
At the time, the meta was to save up your galleons and grab yourself an HD Hipog, which was a component capture device. And this thing, here's the thing, this device by itself made me question how I felt about my hobby. Yeah. Because you had to really, because the problem with this device was this device for its time was almost $200.
Yeah.
And remember, this whole capturing video and gameplay and shit, this wasn't something people on average wanted to spend that much to do.
We were fucking weirdos. We were big time weirdos.
Go to hell.
You know, I can kind of like get behind Lady on this. Like she has a certain energy to her, and I'm okay with that.
Especially that's her father.
The only family I ever had was my mother, and she's dead.
You break my heart. After all, it was I who gave you your name.
Lady?
Her name is not actually, in fact, Lady.
Oh. That's
she does have a real name. Yeet!
Wow. You know, I respect her. She got yeeted and she still kept shooting. Well, she'll be back in the sequel, right? Yeah. Sure she's. Anyways, back to the rant. So this device was 100. I got mine later on, like 2010, late 2000, like mid 2010, and it was $179. Boy, let me tell you about my issues with this device. You know how these days, like, MP4 is like king, technically, as far as video formats go, just for like compatibility. Oh no, bitches! Oh.
This is no wonder the sky looks so funny today.
Let me go.
Let you go? But it would be a waste if you ended up as just a pretty stain.
Oh. Oh. Oh, she really just didn't need your help.
No, not at all. By the way, if you ever wanted to understand just how not killable Dante really is, it's even worse than you think. He cut in his teeth.
Whatever. Do as you please.
I love DMC3 Dante.
Oh god.
Like Dante is still good for the remainder, but there's DMC3 Dante just has that nice little nugget of too young to be taken. So, by the way, like there's the 7, the Bloodstain.
So this device was $179. It was component. It was one of the first devices I remember that had like pass through.
It was one of the earliest ones for fucking sure.
And okay, so you're probably wondering, well, Mike, this doesn't seem like that big of a deal, right? Like this device doesn't seem so bad. Oh boy,
the delay that fucker had that you could do nothing about.
Yeah, it had delay. It was really only good for capture. That was really all that was good for.
Live streaming was literally impossible. OBS didn't even let you directly stream to OBS with it. You had to window capture the fucking capture program, adding more delay.
Yeah, so that was cool. Also, just to note, these days you have a variety of containers you can like save a file to for compatibility's sake. Oh no, this thing outputted in MT2S.
That's
and I don't know.
I have not wanted to think about for a very long time.
MT2S is easily one of the most frustrating file containers I've ever had to work with. Because either A, you import it into Vegas and you have like either no sound or no video, depending on, you know, how the gods decide to view you that day. 2, trying to scrub the video in your video editor, even if you could get both tracks to appear, which I'm not going to even go into the fucking magic wizardry you had to do to get them both to work. Trying to scrub the video was nightmarish. And then 3, and this is something I dealt with, I could never get settings to save.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, like everyone else could do it, but like the main thing people would tell you whenever you bought one is, oh, you have to color correct in Sony Vegas to get the video to look right. Which I don't know if you ever applied color correction to a 30-minute video before, but hope you enjoy render times.
I'm so glad the only thing I have to do with any of my footage now is I have to change the level setting in Vegas to, I think it's computer RPG to film RGB or something. There's a setting like that I have to change, and it does not add to encode time very much. So it's like that motherfucker, that MT2S.
Yeah, MT2S
was the fucking worst.
And the worst part about it is it was MT2S or MPEG-2. And look, if you were gonna capture an MPEG-2,
I think I ended up doing that after a point because I got so fucking sick of dealing with.
Yeah, it was a terrible experience.
It was and I appreciate the capture card existing. That's about all I can say about it.
So I went from that and I went to the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable, which you might remember this one because I had nothing but issues with this fucking thing. So it would capture just fine, but the device, and I didn't realize this at the time. I should have known better because when you bought the device, it gave you like a free 3-month subscription to use XSplit. I didn't think much of it. So the device didn't work. It worked in OBS, but it worked in a really roundabout fucking way. They never actually allowed it to be implemented in OBS. So what you had to do was you had to open it. So you had to open OBS in such a way and then check the devices, and it would, depending on the device decided to work that day, it would show a virtual device for that capture card to use in OBS. Oh, and by the way, if at any point your signal cut out or you had to change something in the settings, your virtual device is gone. Now you have to restart your whole PC.
Yeah, I've heard stories from you, mind you, but yeah, I was lucky and I skipped the portable and went straight to a different one, the AverMedia Extreme U3, I think it was called. That was,
I did. I did
a
even
little
better.
Fucky, but it worked.
I didn't even try to salvage that fucking thing. I just threw it in the trash, dude. I'm not even joking. I threw it in the. So I went from that. I went to the HD60. Yeah, the Raw Dog HD60. That was a good choice. That was I don't regret. I got that on like discount on eBay.
And that son of a bitch is still being used at Kelsey and Dan's house.
Yeah, it should be. It's a good card.
Their capture card shit the bed, and I was like, well, Reso hooked me up with his old one. Do you guys want to borrow it for now? Like
he just I'm that one guy who just happened to have an extra capture device because
he even gave it me originally for my portable rig, but then like my laptop shit the bed, and I was just like, well,
your laptop didn't just shit the bed.
Okay, don't. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't even remember what was that fucking electronics. Yeah, that was not my favorite laptop I've ever bought, and I don't even know if they're still in business.
Shitting the bed is one thing. All right, I've shit the bed. That often, mind you. Just once in a while, on like a Friday, you know, the normal kind of stuff.
You scared?
This Dante is what happens if you gave like a 5th grader a bunch of weapons.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like semi-immortality. Limited immortality, I suppose.
I mean, as far as we know, he is immortal. I just think it's a gameplay MacGuffin that he can die. I don't believe that anybody who can be shot in the head and impaled on a sword more times than I have fingers, which is not an exaggeration, it's fact. I'm pretty sure you're actually immortal, just there needs to be a video game.
Right, there needs to be a fail state.
I mean, technically, you could make him immortal. That would be a weird character action game choice, but I would be intrigued by it.
Yeah, I might pay full price for that.
Ooh, that's a guard breaker. Oof. Okay, be a little more careful.
Yeah. But yeah, I've gone through like, even like after I quit, I still kept on like getting a capture card once in a while because I never knew what I was gonna want to do, and I'm kind of a stickler for I don't want to limit my creative options. So like, even if I don't think I'll use it very much, I still wanted to have one, just on the off chance I decided to fucking do something. But yeah, no, capture. Do you remember like the super early days of capture, like the dazzles?
Oh, I had a dazzle. Yo, okay, so here's the weird flex I get to have. My brother bought a capture card when he was 16. Mind you, he's 4 years older than me. I want you to think about how old that dazzle was. By the way, did you know dazzle's been around for that long?
Yeah, no, they've been around for a long. So did I ever tell you how I started with video capture?
No.
Because it's not the way you think. So my dad had what was a TV tuner card.
Oh, okay.
And so the reason why this worked was because that card did not have an onboard encoder. So any video that got sent to it wasn't being like processed by the card.
Oh.
So anything.
Okay.
So I could literally play my games on my PC like it was like on TV basically. And then the program I used had a record function, and then once I figured that out, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I could do this. Yeah, I hate to say that, like, part of the reason I started doing this was mostly just like out of this weird feeling of like, well, if some of these assholes on YouTube can do it, they're not doing anything that fucking special, I can fucking do this. This doesn't seem that fucking hard. And I regret that. Are you okay there, buddy?
Oh,
you got this? Oh, they really... This is tight.
Oh, yeah, the fucking ones that require SSS are fucking hard. Nope. Ah, I didn't want to start that.
Oh, they need triple S?
Yes, this one needs triple S. Gotcha.
Nice.
Whew. Yeah, those
But
are
yeah.
really hard to do without Swordmaster.
But yeah, like, the only reason I even did it was because I was like, you know, I see people doing this shit. I could do this. And then, like, I don't even want to get into, like, the shit you learn as you go along.
That's the real nitty gritty.
Yeah. Resolution, aspect ratio, fucking those dumb settings in Vegas that you don't realize you should probably turn off until you render out a video and the video comes out like ass.
Yeah. Oh,
Deinterlacing versus full frame. It's
interlaced shit is the worst.
Yeah, it's terrible. Fun fact: the old capture program I used to use back then actually only recorded in interlace.
Oh, so you had to deinterlace in editing no matter what you did.
I had to deinterlace. No, okay. So you never knew this. So I had like a multi-step process.
Oh God.
So I would record, and keep in mind, back then I didn't do traditional episodes. So I would sit down, I would record for like 3 straight hours, right? Just 3 hours uncut of me playing the game with commentary, and then I would just cut that up and upload it. So
I'm an idiot. Sorry.
So what I would do is I would have to drop that into virtual dub and then deinterlace all that raw footage. Which would then, yeah.
That is a program I can happily say I never dealt with. I never once downloaded virtual dub.
You're lucky, 'cause I had to.
I feel blessed. I've heard nothing but horror stories about that fucking program.
It's not, like, depending on what you're using it for. That's the thing.
It was mostly for streaming the people I knew, which I don't know what it does for streaming.
I heard it could do capture, but I was never going to even waste my time on that shit.
Yeah, I know that.
But no, I took the origin video file, dropped it in there, deinterlaced it, and then that would create a duplicate file that was now deinterlaced. Because, you know, fuck me, right?
Yeah. Whoop!
And do I even need to go into the fact that, like, I've been around on YouTube for so long, I remember the transition from 10 minutes to 15 minutes?
Dude, do you remember the fucking big deal that was transitioning from 4:3 to fucking widescreen?
Oh, dude, people got so pissed about that.
There is a time capsule video for that. Ashen's video. He did a video where it starts in 4:3 and then he pans it out. That is such a time capsule for that era. Like, cause he does make like the whole making like, oh God, oh no.
Yeah, no, the 4:3 to 16:9. That ushered in an entire age of people just stretching a video that wasn't meant to be, stretching gameplay footage that wasn't even meant to be 16:9 to 16:9. Because no one ever seemed to give a shit about aspect ratio.
Yep.
And again, some games you can get away with maybe like 16:10, maybe, but full 16:9, I don't know, man. I don't know. So what exactly are you trying to do here, Nick?
I don't remember if it's destroy the ball or just make it hit the wall. It's annoying though. Yeah, I think it's... Either way, I'm trying to... you smash that ball and everything's good when you do that. So that's why I was sitting here. I'm like, fuck, like, if the Siren Shriek thing isn't what, that I remembered. Oh, you remember that little pillar of fire? I mean, I'm sure you noticed me go through it already, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that's for. Oh, it's just break, okay. I don't know why I always thought it was more complicated than that. There's the skull for that door. I thought it... Like, I totally mixed up the order of operations here.
But yeah. I know this is a Devil May Cry 3 video, and I probably shouldn't be reminiscing about like the old days of the internet that I've experienced. Because here's the thing, man, people forget that like people like me and you and like the OGs, the dudes who are on here, my homeboy Armic21, who I still.
He's still around. I found out. Like he's still fucking around. I thought he was long since gone.
No, my homeboy Armate, like you people forget.
He was the only person other than another group I follow, Resident Evil Challenger, which has had a resurgence too. And they don't even really do it the way they used to. They now mostly just go off of switching on a capture card and only use one capture card. But they used to record off the screen of their game. I remember Armake had this tutorial where he would record off the screen, but how to make it not look like dog shit, because that was the only way to get a decent recording of HD at the time.
Yeah, it was well, yeah, because again, not everybody has almost $200.
Not to mention, it sucked for $200, and it didn't work for HDMI.
No, the HDMI part was the rough one. Well, yeah, you couldn't even capture HDMI off of it, and at the time, PS3 was even if you could capture HDMI, PS3 was basically off limits.
Yep, because HD
for the time
fucking CP.
Yup.
So he actually had he used a good camera and made the room as completely dark, and zoomed it in. Actually recorded, got a good framing. It was wild what he did to make that actually not look like dog shit, despite it being essentially camcorder. I mean, it was camcorder.
People forget, YouTube ain't the same. People want to act like YouTube these days is somehow, the weirdest it's ever been. I don't know, fellas. Y'all weren't around for some of this shit. Y'all weren't around for the beta channels, all right?
You weren't around for when it was a big deal to be have access to, 15-minute videos and then 20-minute videos.
Yeah.
That was celebration when that happened.
Yeah, people forget there was a time when your video couldn't be any longer than 10 minutes 30 seconds. And if y'all have looked at my channel and go, man, Reso completes games really fast. Oh, you bitches, you have no idea.
Mountains of footage just lying around.
Fucking 10-minute videos, and if you so much as think that a 40-hour game that's 40 hours of edited gameplay, put that into 10-minute videos, motherfucker, and then talk to me, all right? Legend of Dragoon was almost 150 fucking parts.
I missed the elevator somewhere. Elevator. Yeah, no, I was fortunate in none of the games I went on. I didn't start doing things seriously until it was after the 20-minute up. That's when I actually started doing stuff myself. So
because by that point
I was early, but I wasn't young blood. I wasn't early blood, really diving in there. I was early enough that I can say I was there, because I was certainly Christ, I remember watching live the revolution that Deceased Crab, which I'm sure somebody will be like, oh my god, because but he pretty much was the one who popularized doing a Let's Play on YouTube. And anybody who says other, don't get me wrong, credit where credit is due with people like Slow Beef actually starting the format. I know it wasn't literally just Slow Beef, but I mean, he was one of the people who really popularized it. Even he says Deceased Crab was so ahead of the curve, it's not even funny. Because, he was mocked for that back in the day. Now it's the only place to do it.
Yeah, he was mocked for it. H.C. Bailey was mocked for it. Now, my gripe with
this is the era where people would think you were a scrub for, playing, or no, they wouldn't call you a scrub. They would lose their minds at you if you LP'd the same game that somebody else was LPing. It was weird. You couldn't play new games. It was against the rules. The Something Awful days of Let's Play were fucking weird, and I don't know anybody who actually thinks highly of those days, including the people who ran it. Yeah, right. Not even they. I'm pretty sure they're just happy most of those rules are fucking gone. Oh God, yeah. I can't imagine if you've watched Slow Beef at all in the last couple of years, but oh my god, the shit he talks about the Something Awful days. Yeah, he wasn't He grew the fuck up,
Yeah.
well, I mean, he's older than me, but like, nonetheless, I could still say, oh, hey, remember the first boss? This is a regular ass enemy now.
Oh, I guess I won't count this as a repeat. I'll give
God,
him.
no.
I'll give him a freebie on that one. I could do that. I'm nice enough for that.
Glad I got Eric. That was the
But
reason
yeah,
I,
but yeah, like, yeah, people don't like, because I started in like 2008, right? Like early 2008. You know what I mean? Like 2008 was around the time. No, let me think. When I started, what was relevant? I'm trying to think what was relevant when I started, because like I was already around before that, but I'm trying to think of what was like actually relevant. I think we were past the point of people like having the debate about irate gamer versus Nintendo nerd. I think we were past that. I think by 2008 we had all kind of come to the agreement, like, all right, clearly.
quick aside, yo, how, like, I don't really care about Irate Gamer. I never really have. How hype was him and James Rolfe doing a video together? Just conceptually, like, looking back on what that used to be like.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like old school fans, they look at that and go, "Holy shit!"
That's it. Like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like, what the fuck? Like, it was a joke before how they were like, oh, it's like, no, it's because we're all fucking adults now. We can look at that and think that's a great, clever idea.
I gotta keep it real though, 100% real, on some like real shit. And I'm gonna catch shit for saying this. And you might disagree with me, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna say it. I think Game Grumps